Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. Back again for another live. And today we have our good friend PJ.
Hello.
In the meantime, you guys know Greg back there.
Hello.
And we are live over here, so please ask questions, put them into the comments, and we will ask them of PJ. You can put him in the hot seat if you want.
Ask me any questions.
Ask him any questions, he said. Anyway, so PJ, welcome. Thanks for coming and
Thank you for having me.
joining us today.
Again, you've been here before.
He's
Yeah,
been here
second
before.
round.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
But he's going to talk about different things today, actually, instead of
The
what we-
mortgages.
Yeah, instead of what we talked to him before about, which was the mortgage. He has several endeavors. Let's just say.
Cat grooming, right?
Yeah.
Training and grooming cats. This is
Yeah.
gonna be really fun.
So my second business is the family-owned body shop. My uncle and father were partners together. My younger uncle and father were partners for about 35 years. And about 10 years ago, my dad retired. And that was when my uncle needed additional help. And he asked me to join him, partner up, and fix people's cars and get them back on the road. So now we have a very beautiful body shop in the San Fernando Valley on Reseda by Sherman Way, Car Star Collision. And as you guys know me, I love cars, I love real estate, and I love financing. So I do what I love because it's passion. And so we help people to get them back on the road with their vehicle when they get in a fender bender or they have a lease return, they want to return the car. The car's got damaged, you know, if you have a lease return, the dealership will charge you an arm and a leg for any dings and dents and scratches. So
Yeah.
people come to us, we save them a lot of money, thousands of dollars, fix their cars. They can return it without getting dinged.
Very good.
Well, yeah, because they send an inspector before you return your lease, and they go over that with that
Yeah.
fine-tooth
One-
comb.
Yeah, if it's
Correct.
over usually if it's over a quarter-size ding or dent, then they charge you for the whole panel, which is a lot of money per panel.
Yeah.
Of course, bumper scratches and windshield cracks and things like that. So we do it all. We have our own trucking company. We have multiple tow trucks. So if someone gets a fender bender, they reach out to us 24/7, 365. We're able to dispatch our driver to that location, pick up their car, and bring it back to our shop, and get that set up with the insurance company. We also offer our clients deductible programs where if someone gets their fender bender, it's their fault, they're going through their own insurance, and they have a deductible, right? Which is the part that you pay as the car owner to the body shop. And we have programs to help people with that, to reduce their stress. And we also service clients from San Diego to Santa Barbara. So
Oh, wow.
anywhere you are in that area, we're able to help you.
And that's including the tow truck service?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So I have clients in Santa Barbara that have a home here, have a home there. They get in an accident, they call us, we go there, pick up the car, bring it back. And usually the insurance company will pick up the tow bill. And whatever they don't cover, we cover as courtesy.
Okay.
Now sometimes you have an insurance policy on your car that does not include rental reimbursement or rental coverage. What that means is that if I'm gonna fix your car for 2 weeks,
You need something to drive.
you gotta get around. Whether you're going to work, pick up the kids, the grandkids, what have you, shopping, you have a wedding to go to, you need a vehicle. You don't want to always Uber it everywhere. So for those clients that do not have rental coverage, maybe they can't afford to pay for their own rental out of their own pocket, for whatever reason, we offer the clients a loaner car at no cost, and that allows them to use our vehicle without paying for it. I mean, they're liable for damages if something happens, God forbid, but for the most part, they're just paying for gasoline. We don't charge for mileage, we don't charge for the daily rental that, car rental agents charge. And that's just a courtesy for our clients, and that's been a huge help in our business, because the biggest problem people have is I don't have a car, and I don't want to go spend $50, $60 a day on a rental car.
Yeah, it makes it very hard, and if you don't have a car to get around, and we know living in LA is not easy. So
No.
yeah, so that can
It's
be.
not easy with the car, but yeah. Anywhere.
Are you saying that there's traffic in LA?
No, I would never.
Oh, what does that mean?
That,
What are you talking about with
I
traffic?
gotta be more positive about that. So would you do a car that didn't get, doesn't have insurance related, but like I bet
Yes.
my bumper's messed up, I can
Yes,
bring it in and you can
yeah,
fix it?
so those are called, a cash customer or cash transaction where we're not involved with an insurance company or attorneys. And what happens is basically a client will contact me and say, hey, I'm buying my son a car for college and it needs some work. It's got some body damage on it, or the bumper's hanging, or the windshield's cracked, and they can come out to our shop. And a few of our Culver City Biz members have reached out to me. I've repaired multiple vehicles for our members, and they're very happy. And a happy client will refer more clients to you, and it's all based on trust. Just like my mortgage clients become my body shop clients, right? Every homeowner has a car, or two, or three. So it's all about building trust, and it's about experience.
We'll talk after this. Good. I need some stuff.
You need to talk louder. They can't hear you.
Well, I was talking personally to him. I was telling him I wanted to look at my car.
No, they're actually
they're saying
saying
that?
they
Oh,
can't.
okay.
No, Greg.
Okay, so speak up, Greg.
Greg needs to speak
I
up.
will speak up louder. My
And
apologies.
every so often, I will interrupt these guys to tell you who we're talking to today, just so that you're aware. We are talking to PJ today, and we are talking about his Body Works
Body shop.
for
Collision.
automobiles, and just to be clear.
Yeah, well, yes. Not the shop on Sunset, yes.
Yes.
So
Oh, then never mind.
So if you have any questions, please put them into the comments. PJ also does mortgages, but this is his other business, and so we're talking today more about this business of auto repair, body work on your automobile. If you got into a little fender bender or an accident, he can help you with that. And he's located in the valley on Reseda.
Yeah, on Mr. Boulevard. It's called Star Collision. And the best way to get a hold of me is my cell phone, 818-281-4633. Now, what I want to touch base on, which is very important, is that overall, without naming particular companies, insurance companies always look for a way to not pay. That's just the way it is. That's how it's been.
Right.
So my experience, this is a family business of 35 years. I've learned that when you are involved in an accident, you have to have some type of legal representation. When an insurance company sees that you have a legal representation of an attorney or a law firm behind you, they're not going to cut corners. They're not going to try to have you sign documents you don't know. They're going to know that if they do anything wrong, it could, come back and hunt them, because there's laws. But when you're an individual and you make a claim to your own policy, whether you were hit or you hit someone, and you have no legal representation, that is a field day for insurance companies, because they take advantage. And I'm sorry to say, but they're not on your side. Whether it's your own insurance company or the other party who hit you, no one's on your side. And that's why I always tell my clients that if they don't have, an attorney they can speak to, they should look for one.
So even in a small accident, you should get an attorney, is what you're saying?
Yes, because a lot of times you could be.
But an attorney can be costly.
Well, not necessarily. The attorney gets paid by the insurance company, not by the person that was rear-ended.
What average percentage would they take?
It depends on the attorney. That's something that the person would talk to about when they sign a retainer. But it's always good to consult with an attorney, because a lot of times you could get rear-ended, and I've seen it happen multiple times. You get rear-ended, you have pain, you have injuries, and the person that hit you goes to their insurance company and says, "You backed up into me."
Right.
Now there's no witnesses, right? That's a problem. But nowadays with the new vehicles, what we do is we download the EDR. EDR is the black box of the car, which tells us exactly what happened, how hard was the impact, where was the impact, where was the car, what time and what speed. And so people can't lie anymore, thanks to technology. Because now you have literally a digital black box in every car that was built after 2018.
Wow.
It's a law that went into effect by the federal government that allows either the insurance company or the attorney or the car owner to download the vehicle's, logistics of what happened.
But a black box can't tell if you're injured. I guess it would be a reasonable guess assumption based on
Correct.
speed,
But a
based on
black
impact.
box will prove that you were rear-ended and that you didn't back up to anybody.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Now black boxes get a bit tricky. Usually they pick up front and rear collisions. So if you get T-boned, God forbid, depending on the type of vehicle and how hard the impact was, the black box may not pick up all the data. But that's why it's good to have, witnesses. So God forbid, if you get in an accident, no matter what, look for witnesses, look to see where you are, if there's traffic, cameras, ring cameras, if it's a residential area. You always want to have a backup that could be there for you in case the person claims that what happened isn't true or vice versa.
Yeah.
And how many people use like those dash cams and stuff?
Almost everyone has a dash cam now, which is amazing.
Really?
But dash cams get tricky. Dash cams, some only record your front view, which is your windshield, so where you're going, and some only record your back view. You can get dash cams where they have 4 small cameras. So as you're driving, it records the entire 360 of your view. So when you're driving on the freeway, it can record the sides. So if somebody sideswiped you, or they rear end you, or God forbid you hit an object, because a lot of times we get clients that come in with their vehicles damaged because of debris on the freeways. There's cars that get totaled just because you have a big brick or a concrete center block flies off a truck. So you're going 70 miles an hour, that thing is coming at you at 30, that's a 100 mile per hour impact to your car.
Yeah.
Usually when that hits the front of the vehicle, it creates a lot of damage. If you go over it, your engine, transmission, all that is destroyed. So it's good to have these dash cameras. In the event that your insurance company questions you, you say, here's a video. I was driving on the 405 and this object, so dash cameras are recommended for everyone to have.
Okay.
And some insurance companies do give you a discount for having dash cameras,
Okay.
which is pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah, not
So
very
if you
good.
guys just joined, we're talking to PJ, and thank you everyone for joining. We appreciate your inputs. Put your questions and your comments into the comment section, and we will answer them on live. And if you're asking them after we have gone off of live, we could still answer. So
Absolutely.
So PJ will be tagged, and he's actually tagged on this, so he can answer those questions himself. We do have a few questions for you.
Yes.
Do
sure
you
would.
work on specialty cars or just regular cars?
We work on all vehicles, from your regular Japanese cars all the way to your European cars and in between. We're certified with main manufacturers. We give our clients a lifetime warranty. And we also work on exotic vehicles like Lamborghini, Ferraris, Porsches. So every car has a specific way of being rebuilt. And so we have the right technicians that are certified, that know how each manufacturer wants their cars to be rebuilt. For example, some cars are aluminum, like Tesla. There's a particular way and certification you have to repair aluminum, right? Then there's fiberglass, there's plastic, there's regular metal. So depending on the manufacturer, we have our employees, our technicians that know how to repair a vehicle, it's important. Now, one thing that a lot of shops make a mistake on is color matching. So if you have a car that's 10 years old and you paint the front, it's not going to be exactly as the back because the back is 10 years old.
Right.
So what you have to do is we have a computer system that match it to the specific vehicle code, the color code that the manufacturer provides, and then we detail the entire car. When it's done right, the car looks like nothing ever happened. And that's the beauty about knowing what you're doing. And again, this goes back to 35 years of being in the business with the family, is learning, the basics.
Sure.
We also work on classic cars. So people love to restore their cars. We do that. It's one of my passions. I think restoring classic cars, like raising a baby.
Wouldn't give you a lot harder? Yeah, I mean,
They're a lot harder.
Parts are
Yeah.
obviously.
Parts are hard to get. Some parts are rebuilt. You have a lot of rust on these, older vehicles. You gotta make sure, that they're done correctly. Because if it's rust and you don't do it correctly, it's gonna come back.
Right. Okay, one more from this one. Let's see. Do you have one special insurance company you work with, or all of them?
All of them. We work with all insurance companies and carriers. At the end of the day, we have a very good relationship with them. They know us very well. They know that we do amazing work. We have very happy clients. That's why they come back to us. And we work with all insurance companies, all brands, all makes and models. It doesn't matter what it is. We can get the cars repaired.
All right.
And I think the last one was just a comment.
About the 1/3, most attorneys take 1/3 of whatever they get. I haven't asked in a few years.
Yeah, every law firm has their own set of costs and fees that they charge.
Sure.
But usually that fee comes out of the settlement of the case,
Right.
not the client's pocket.
Not out of you, yeah.
Yeah, and many attorney law firms, and you'll see them advertise this, that they don't charge you unless the case gets settled.
Right.
But again, why I recommend advising or at least talking to an attorney when you're involved in an accident is because Friday you could be rear-ended, on Saturday they can blame you for it.
So let me ask you this: how legitimate are the attorneys that you see on the billboards? I mean, they're all over the place.
There's a lot of amazing attorneys in Southern California, big firms, small firms. I think in any business, whoever you're going to work with, you want to look up their reviews.
Okay.
Maybe talk to a customer,
Good point.
testimonials, and that's how I am. Whatever I want to use someone's services, before I even reach out to them, I look up their reviews, their testimonial of the clients, and see what kind of
That's the
track record
age
they
we're
have.
living in, right? I mean, even before we go to a restaurant, we can look up the reviews.
Yeah, you see what the prices are, you can see how many stars they have, what kind of complaints. And I'm not a complainer. I don't just go on and Yelp and complain for no reason.
Good.
It has to take a lot for me to complain. But I've seen on different platforms, people just complain for nothing.
Oh, believe me, in the restaurant business, I'll tell you, absolutely nothing.
And I've
Because
seen,
they have a voice.
yeah, and which this is horrible. I've seen people that are in competition with each other in the same businesses will have others complain on their competitors'
Yeah.
site.
Yeah, there's no control over that.
Exactly. And so I think honesty is the key. Integrity is important, and that's how you grow any business.
Grow
to
your
sustain.
business, right?
So, company like yours, you can also look at the Yelp reviews, right?
Yes, you can do this on Google and Yelp. You can go to our website, starcollisions.online, and we have multiple testimonials of clients there. We have a lot of before and after pictures. I do have a Facebook page for the company, which is Star Collision. So if you are not following, follow us on Star Collision. Just look it up, Star, COLLISION, and you'll see a bunch of amazing videos of our tow trucks, of our staff. You'll see thousands of pictures of before and afters, and you'll see where the car came in pretty ugly, and it's leaving pretty beautiful. And I've also recently repaired a vehicle for one of Rafia's family members, and she was very
did a
happy.
good job.
And the car came out amazing, and it took a bit long because the insurance company was trying to, take their sweet time, and with persistence, we got it done. And even though that Rafia's family member was with us, we had the car for over 30 days, because 17 days of that was waiting for the insurance company, and on the 30th day, the rental was up. So what I did, because this is customer service, is we paid for your family member's car rental, which was a little over $1,000. That's from out of our pocket, is because we want to make sure that the client is not paying for the rental out of their pocket, even though their own insurance company didn't want to back them up.
Right.
So we fight very hard for our clients.
It's kind of crazy that the insurance company can just get away with that.
With the premiums that we're paying, they should give us much better services.
Right.
They should be there for you when you need them.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I'm not gonna again name any carriers here, but there are some carriers that are better than others. Now, here's the icing on the cake. You get what you pay for. You go with the cheap insurance company to have low premiums and low monthly payments. When you need them, you're gonna get the same treatment. You go with a company that you pay a little bit more per year, you have better coverage, you have better backing, and I myself, have a very good insurance company. They're definitely a lot more expensive than other companies, but being in the business, I know that God forbid something happens, I won't have the troubles that your family member had dealing with her insurance company.
Well, because you do this so often and deal with so many, don't they know you by now, some of these companies?
Yes, yeah. So the way it works, so the way it works is we have, you have about 35 major insurance companies in Southern California that insure cars, and they all come to our shop because people have different policies. And usually the way it works with adjusters that come to our shop, they're by territory. So, the same adjuster can come in one day and look at 3 vehicles. A lot of times, because we're also on an approved list, they don't come out. They ask us to send them pictures, videos, mark the car, what the damages are, and we provide an estimate to the insurance company. They review it, and then they can give us a call and say, okay, we're doing this, we're doing that, and we always go according to the insurance company's estimate, because at the end of the day, that's the right thing to do. What I want to also point out is that unfortunately, in any business, there's good and bad. A lot of body shops and collision centers do not follow the insurance company's estimate. Meaning that your insurance company pays to replace your fender, and they end up fixing your fender to save more money, right? If a fender costs $500 and you're getting paid to replace it, you need to replace it.
Oh, you're saying they could take the dents out or do something to,
and not replace it and make more money that way, which is shady. Sometimes the insurance company will pay for a factory part, which is called OEM, and the body shop will end up buying an aftermarket part, which is made in Taiwan. It's the wrong fitting, doesn't fit right, your lines are not straight, and it's not as strong as the metal that you would have on an actual factory fender. Now, the problem with that is that a lot of insurance companies, when they come out to write the estimate, they pay for aftermarket parts, which don't fit right, they create problems. So on every vehicle, we give the client the option that, hey, your policy states that your insurance company is paying for aftermarket parts. We can do it, but if you want to pay out of pocket and pay the difference, I recommend getting a used part that we can put on the car, which is a factory part, or from the dealer. These fittings are much better and easier to deal with than aftermarket parts, because aftermarket parts are fake. It's a copy of the original, right? It's just like buying a fake Gucci purse. Looks the same, but it's not the same, right? So again, I think you get what you pay for, but when you're looking out there for insurance companies,
yeah, but when you're shopping for insurance carriers, and you have to be able to afford a certain.
Absolutely.
I mean, we know insurance is sky high.
Absolutely.
For everything right now.
So here's my fix on that. If you're shopping for insurance and one company is $500 or $1,000 more or less per year, just go to less dinners, buy one less pair of shoes or 2, right? And invest that money into the car you're driving, so in case you get in an accident, you have a good company behind your back that will take care of you and get you back on the road. Our biggest delay with insurance companies is that they always want to argue over pennies. And, to me, it's mind-boggling, because you're looking at companies that are worth billions of dollars and they're arguing with you over $20.
Wow.
That's what it is. So be smart out there, be wise out there, talk to your insurance brokers, talk to multiple brokers, do your homework. You can also go on the Department of Insurance website and get more information about insurance companies and carriers, but do your homework. And remember, if you have one policy with a company and you want to move, you can move your policy to a different company anytime. You just need to make sure that they underwrite your policy and they issue you a policy before you cancel the existing one.
If you guys just joined, we're talking to PJ about his auto body business. It's called Star Collision. It's located on Reseda Boulevard in
In the valley.
yeah,
San Fernando Valley, the 818.
San Fernando Valley, 818 Valley. Okay, so I think that what you were, did you have an interest in cars before this, or?
Yes, since I was a little kid in Iran, I used to go out in the balcony and look at every single car, and I would tell my dad when I was 6 or 7 years old, I would tell him the brand and the make of the vehicle. He's back in Iran. So I've always had a passion for cars. I remember as a child, I had hundreds of car toys that I used to take apart and put back together. You know, and then all the hand-me-downs went to my little brother. You know, he got all the used cars. But I've always loved cars. It's a passion of mine. I think every car has its own artistic lines. And when you get a car that's crushed up and damaged and you put it back to how it was, it's actually a cool feeling.
Very satisfying.
Yeah, it's,
Sure.
you know, sometimes people doubt you. And one thing about people doubting you in life is that don't let anyone doubt you. People doubt you about running multiple businesses. And I think what I've learned in my life is the more people doubt you, the more people tell you you can't do it, that's a bigger motivation to do it. Because anyone can run multiple businesses. It's about having a good team, having good experience, and doing what you love.
Have you ever thought about doing a mobile car repair?
Yes, but you know, mobile car repairs are
They're more mechanical
situations.
oriented, wouldn't it be?
Well, you're talking about body work.
I'm talking about that.
Yeah. So with the EPA, you can't really paint cars in the street.
Right. I'm
No.
talking about like getting dents out.
Yeah. Dents and not like that. What we do is we just call one of our dent guys, and they're a mobile dent. It's not our company. It's someone that we can refer to you. They can come to your house and maybe you have a ding or a dent. They might be able to make it nicer and fix that. We do everything at the shop because everything that we do is major. But some companies do come out to your home and even scratching your bumper, they'll do a little spray in your bumper, but it's not gonna look good at all, you know. But to get it done, you want the car to be at an actual body shop where it's we take the bumper off, we mask the car, we sand it down, put it in the spray booth, paint it. A bumper usually takes 4 to 6 stages, maybe more, depending on the color. So you want to make sure you have all the stages there. If you want it done right, you don't want to have someone come to your home.
Yeah, I got you.
You know.
It's a lot of work. And it's
It's a
got
lot
to
of
be
work.
very meticulous, and you need to be able to.
And we
Well,
offer a
there's-
lifetime
yeah.
warranty.
Yeah, it's convenience.
Yes.
It's all about convenience, you know. And you don't have to drive there and get an Uber back or, you know, all those
Exactly.
things. So there is that element to it. Probably costs more too because the collision company is traveling.
Correct.
So there must be some sort of charge for that as
Correct.
well.
Yes.
But it's a good service to offer.
Absolutely.
What else? What else do you want people to know about you? Is
Okay.
there a particular color of a car that is just really difficult to match?
Yes. So a lot of shops cannot match colors that are in the lines of candy apple colors.
Oh,
Pearl is the hardest color to match, so is
so
silver.
if it's like an iridescent,
Yeah. You know, the black and white colors or reds are easy to match, but you have different shades of blue, gray, silver, and pearl. And I would say 95% of body shops cannot match it.
So what do you do?
You hire the right people.
Oh, all right.
You have the right computer system, because every car has a paint code that comes with the vehicle. It's on the VIN.
Oh,
That little sticker you have on the side,
Yeah.
there's a paint code on it. So what you do is you take the VIN number, the paint code, you put it in the system, and the system will tell you what ingredients you need to color match that car.
okay.
And that's what we do. It's expert color matching. You know, we have 2 painters. Our painters have been painting for 37 years. So these guys know what they're doing.
Okay.
They're second, third generation painters. And,
great.
you know, you can't paint a Ferrari the same way as you would paint a Nissan. Every manufacturer has different recommendations and requirements, so we always follow the manufacturer's recommendations, and that's how we're able to provide a lifetime warranty. So any work that we do, as long as you own the vehicle, if there's any defects in our work, we will redo the car at no charge and provide you with a loaner car while we're fixing your car. And that's been the key success to our business.
Yeah, sounds great.
Lifetime warranty. Now, one thing I want to touch base on is very important. Drivers in Southern California buy an insurance policy and they have no clue what coverages they just bought. So my recommendation is this: if you don't have an idea about your coverages, you can contact me. I'll gladly go over your coverage with you, because a lot of things happen with, vandalism, car theft, and hit and runs. And if you don't have the right policy, you may be underinsured or you may not have your coverage. So if your car is parked, in the street and some drunk person hits it and takes off, if you don't have a certain endorsement on your policy, your car is not covered.
That's called uninsured motorist
Uninsured motorist.
coverage.
There you go.
You need to have
Gotta
that.
have that.
Also,
Because one of my kids had that issue recently, and unfortunately the person didn't have insurance,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
it all had to come out of her insurance, so that's never a good thing for insurance companies, because they will raise your rates.
Yeah. So one thing you know is that in California, if your vehicle is leased or financed, you are forced to have insurance by the bank, because you don't own the car, they do, right?
Right.
But a lot of people that have cash businesses buy their cars cash. And they say, okay, well, my car's paid off, I'm not gonna buy insurance. Pretty careless, right?
Yeah.
So you wanna make sure you have uninsured motorists. You have terrorism, vandalism in your car. You have theft on that. And the biggest thing that people don't have is rental reimbursement. Rental reimbursement costs about $100 to $200 a year
Yeah.
for the carrier to give you $30, $40 a day for 30 days.
It's a lifesaver.
Right, but don't you think that when you're purchasing the insurance broker is probably telling you, oh, you can't afford it because you're saying that's too high.
That's
so they're
the problem.
probably saying, well, we can cut this out and cut this out, and we can bring it down to this. That's where you get into trouble, because you're cutting out things. But then if you find a company that's much lower price, like you're saying, you get what you paid for, why is that company offering all those things at a lower price but then not delivering? I mean, if you're gonna go ahead and say I'm the lowest, and I'm gonna give you all this coverage for this price and no other company does that, then why are you not delivering on that,
Well, the thing is that the companies that charge less have less staff and less employees to handle the claim. So usually when you make a claim, you have an inside adjuster that handles the internal stuff, and an outside adjuster that goes out to the shop or
Sees the
wherever the car is,
car,
right?
yeah.
And so when you're working with a company or you're in carriers, a company that's you're not paying much for that premium, you're not really a priority, because they have hundreds of thousands of claims to go through. And so the bigger companies have more, employees, better customer service, and you're able to get your car done very faster. Sometimes we're waiting on a week or two for an insurance company to approve an estimate, right? And we cannot touch a car until we have their approval. So when that happens, we keep calling them, emailing them, the client contact their carrier, and in most cases, I have the law firm or the attorney reach out to the insurance company, especially when they're a claimant, meaning a claimant is a person that was hit by somebody else and they're not at fault. Okay? And usually, if you have a hit and run situation, if you have the license plate of the person that hit you, whether they have insurance or not, most carriers will waive your deductible because you have a license plate. So they go after the person that hit you.
Right.
Now, again, going back to carriers and coverages, it's so important to go over every line, every endorsement, line by line with your insurance broker. That way you know exactly what kind of policy you have, and just know that if you're on a budget, and it's understandable, but for $2, $3, $4, $500 a year, more or less, your life is much better off with less of a headache. Also, one important thing I want to touch base on is gap insurance. Again, I'm not a licensed insurance agent, but what gap insurance does is if you buy a car for $50,000 and you bought some extra stuff and now you owe the bank $60,000, a year later you wreck your car gets totaled. You owe $50,000 on your loan, but the car depreciates every 90 days, right? Kelly Blue Book comes out every quarter. So now your car is worth 40, but you owe 50 to the bank. Your insurance company is going to give you 40,000. They're not going to pay you what you owe. They pay you the actual market value.
You're still gonna owe the rest.
So now you're stuck with 10 grand to be out of pocket to pay off your loan. If you don't, it's, collections, lawsuit, all that good stuff. So to avoid that, you buy gap insurance. Gap insurance, what they usually do is their secondary policy that kicks in on whatever your own carrier doesn't cover. So in this case, you owe 50 grand to the bank, your car is worth 40, you got $40,000 for a car being totaled, that's the market value, and the other $10,000 is paid by the gap insurance company. That way you pay nothing out of pocket.
Do some of these bigger companies are also the company to get the gap insurance from?
Well, here's the problem with gap insurance. Gap insurance is only allowed at the purchase of the vehicle
Brand
time.
new car, yeah.
So usually you can buy gap insurance when you're buying a car, even if it's used.
Oh.
You could. Some companies do offer gap insurance on used vehicles that are low mileage, a year or two old, right? But you cannot buy gap insurance once the car leaves the dealership.
But obviously the cost of the gap insurance is worth the price because
It's absolutely worth it. It's like earthquake insurance. It's pretty cheap. No one has it, but it's just for that in case that
Sure,
one day.
help if there's an earthquake, yeah.
Exactly. So
If you guys just joined, we're talking to PJ. We're talking about his auto body shop located in the Valley. And if you have any questions, please put it into the comments and we will answer them for you. So along those same lines, what we were just talking about, we had a situation with one of my kids' cars where the insurance company was totaling the car, but the adjuster was not adjusting to the price of what the vehicle was.
that's what they always
worth.
they lowball you.
Yeah.
This happened
So
to
something we learned that I didn't know, you can actually hire a private adjuster to do do that for you so that you're getting fair market value like PJ just said. So do you want to touch on that?
Yes. So many times, I would say 9 out of 10 times when your car is totaled, and especially in the case when there's no attorney involved, the insurance company will lowball you. That means that the car is worth $10,000, they're gonna offer you about $7 grand. You never take the first offer. But once they give you an offer, they can't go below it. So if they offer you $7,000 and you say no, they can't say, well, no, it's gonna be 6. The 7 is what they're held up to, right?
All right.
So you could either hire a private adjuster, or if you want to save a couple $100, you could be your own adjuster. You go to various websites, you pull comps, just like you're buying a home, right? You pull comparables of cars that are being sold online or on the dealership, and you compare that vehicle's options to your option and your VIN number and your mileage and model and stuff, and you can see, hey, Mr. So-and-so, my car is worth this much because I'm looking at 7 comparables, and all these cars are within my mileage, my year, my model, my options, and they're $3 grand higher. So if you want to offer me $7 grand on a car that's worth 10 grand, why don't you don't give me the money and go buy me that car for 10 grand? Replace my car. And a lot of times they realize, oh my God, you know your stuff. And they become nice. So it's a fight. But it's doable. That's how you fight. You have to just prove what the car's value is. Maybe you got new tires a month ago. You give them the receipts. Hey, I got tires, and they pay you for that. You just bought a new battery, or you just did a rebuild on your engine, right? They pay you for that because you've invested money into the car, and now the car is totaled. So it's just a fight that you got to do.
regardless if people take it to your shop or to anyone else's shop, what is the average time that it takes to fix a car? Like, how long should it take?
It's a good question. It could, depending on the damage and the type of make of vehicle, a car could be repaired in 2 or 3 days or in 2 months. Now, here's the problem.
That's a huge.
For example, we have a client right now. It's a Rolls Royce. Right? It's a specialty vehicle, right? Rolls Royce, Bentley, Lamborghini, Ferrari. They're all specialty vehicles. Parts are not just laying there. These are all parts that have to be specially ordered. So for a hood on a Rolls Royce Phantom, which is the flagship of Rolls Royce, that takes about 50 days to get the hood in. The hood costs $40,000. So for them to hand build the hood and ship it to you takes about 40 to 45 days. Now, most policy carriers cover 30 days of rental. So when that happens, we will provide the client with a shop bar or a shop loaner for free while their car is going to be being fixed with us, right?
So
it's not going to be a Rolls Royce, but it'll be
I gotta
on
ask
wheels.
that. Yeah, I gotta ask that. Like, what kind of a person, what kind of car do you feel comfortable giving to someone who brought you a Rolls Royce?
Well, I don't have any Rolls Royce loaner cars, but we have some nice.
But here you go, I got a Honda for you.
We try to make the client as happy as possible, but that's why we don't charge for the vehicle. At the end of the day, it's just temporary for you to get from point A to point B.
I'm thinking that if I owned a Rolls Royce,
You have multiple cars.
and I would probably have multiple cars, so I wouldn't need the loaner, or I'd go get my own.
Absolutely.
Just go buy a car for a little while.
Yes.
But here's the caveat that I always let the client know an estimated time that we'll need based on the facts.
Okay.
So on a specialty car that I know it's going to take a certain time, I'm not going to lie to them and tell them it's going to take 5 days. When I
But
know it's going to be 20.
you have so many variables that are out of your control.
So many.
So, like, you can promise the moon, but, end up not delivering.
But like with the Rolls Royce, I mean, you research, you know it's going to take X amount of time. You just tell them the truth, and that's it.
They know.
Okay.
Listen, the clients that have certain specialty vehicles, they know. They know that things do take time. Now, the worst time of getting car parts was during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with cars that use fiber optics, like Rolls Royce, Bentley, Highline cars. They don't have regular wiring. They use fiber optics. And so when COVID happened, everything shut down. So on some cars, I was waiting 3 or 4 months for parts. And you can't give a car back to a client that's not done because of safety issues. I can't give a car back to you and say, hey, drive your car without a door while I wait for the bulk to come in. So you let the client know upfront everything before you take the car in. And unfortunately, what shops do that I think is shady is they promise the world to get the car in. They tear it up, not tear it up, but they tear it down. They take the door off or whatever's damaged, and then they can't put it back on because it's damaged, right? And they say, oh, sorry, Mr. Client, we're waiting for a bolt. And so it's like they keep the client hostage, which I hate. So I like to always be upfront with that. If I feel that I can get your car fixed in 10 days, I will tell you 14 days because I'm using an extra 4 days in case things go, on late.
Right.
So it's always better to, under promise and over deliver than the other way around. And so, most businesses don't see it that way.
I'm guessing that most people would, if they're driving like a Honda or something, and they hit a Rolls Royce, they must be like freaking out. And I'm sure their insurance company freaks out even more, right?
Absolutely. Now, usually on, when you're leasing a vehicle or financing a vehicle, you have certain requirements of coverage. The basic coverage is the 100, 300 coverage, which most leasing companies require. Because technically, on a lease vehicle or a finance vehicle, you're the owner, but it's not your car. It's owned by the bank. So the bank wants to protect their asset, right? And that's why they have you buy insurance. Again, it's so important to have your insurance reviewed by your insurance broker. Now, there are some carriers that don't have insurance brokers, right? So that's where you have to compare pricing and options and endorsements. But if you don't understand it and you're dealing with an insurance company that doesn't have a broker, just go on Google, go on ChatGPT, ask people,
Or call you.
contact me. I can never give you insurance advice, but I can explain to you what a policy covers and what it does based on what you currently have.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. And also, like, you pay different amounts of insurance depending on where you live or where you go to work.
That's another factor, that's right.
Yeah,
The neighborhood and all that.
Yeah, so different zip codes, vary on your premium. A lot of insurance companies will not even issue a particular policy in a particular zip code because of all the fraud that's going on in that zip code. Fraud does happen a lot. I'm sure if you look up mortgage fraud or insurance fraud, auto insurance fraud, you're gonna find a lot of articles. Recently there was a few people that were arrested for auto insurance fraud, and what happened was they took their cars to Big Bear, Highline cars. They wore a bear outfit, and they went. Yeah, I'll send you the link. They wore a bear outfit like Halloween, and they went into the car like a bear, and they started tearing the car apart.
Oh my God.
This was a Rolls Royce, a Bentley, and a Ferrari in Big Bear. No pun intended, right?
Yeah.
And so the insurance company actually brought a bear expert in court to prove that a bear doesn't do certain things that a human being does. And based on the movement of that video, that was caught on video, the whole thing, they proved that the supposedly bear in the car was a human being in a bear outfit. You can look it up, just Google,
I'll take your word for it.
That is disgusting.
What kind of damage were they doing? I mean, these guys.
They were tearing up the car to get a total.
Yeah, but I mean,
Ripping up the seats, with the sharp nails or whatever, ripping up the seats, the dashboard, scratching the car, things that people do that are very stupid. And I think honesty is the best in any business, in any feature. And when you try
they tape recorded themselves doing this?
No, the cabin that they had rented had a camera.
Oh, okay.
They didn't know they were on camera.
They didn't know
Yeah,
they were on
that
camera.
was my next
Wow.
question.
Yeah, and so of course the insurance company denied their claim, and they were allegedly, found guilty based on the articles I read, and they got in trouble for insurance fraud. That does happen. That's why I don't blame insurance companies for double checking their facts, right? But in life you just gotta be kosher, be clean, be legit. Just don't try to screw people over.
Honesty is the best policy.
Honesty is the key.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best policy. I don't think, do we have any more questions, Greg, here
Not here, no.
that people have
Why
asked?
don't you tell us what you want people to know about your business?
I want to know that Star Collision is a beautiful auto collision center that you could use based on the trust that we have in our community, based on our proven track record, based on the 35 years of business. So now we're having clients that come in are the children of the clients that we had over 30 years ago. So when you see grandkids and children of their initial clients coming in with their cars, because they heard from mom and dad or grandma and grandpa that, hey, Star Collision, DJ and his family have been amazing, they've been in this business a long time. And listen, everyone has you gotta be reputable, And when people know you do good work, no matter what business you're in, you could be a dentist,
Yep.
you could be a mortgage broker, you could be a photographer, you could be in any business. When your clients talk about you so amazingly, that's the best advertisement, is the referral, right? And so I myself will never refer anyone to any business unless I know the business personally and I've actually used their services.
Exactly. I think, I went on a little excursion thing this week, and it was a tea on a bus, and it was late. We were told to get there earlier than the time to board. The bus was late, and I thought that is a terrible way of running your business, and we asked the person that was in charge of all these buses that were coming, and that person told us that this particular company is notorious for being late and also not showing up.
Wow.
And
Did you check their Google reviews?
oh yeah, very mixed. But yeah, that we were just really, I didn't check the Google reviews before we went, and I was invited to go, and I wanted to go, and it wasn't cheap. It was pretty expensive, but
How was the tea?
there was no tea.
Wow.
There was no tea. There was
Just a bus.
very and
A late bus.
yeah, usually like you get, a lot of food and everything, and the food was pretty scarce there.
Now here, where was this excursion that you went on?
It goes around the Beverly Hills Sunset
Oh,
area.
the stars thing?
Yeah, but it's called Tea Around Town, and
Okay.
it takes you on this little, ride.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be about an hour and a half, but it really was a little less than an hour and a half. They were late by 45 minutes to get there, or something like
That's
that.
horrible. That's
We
horrible.
waited.
Yeah,
Well,
don't fix
no,
that
we
bus.
waited
That's
for
no
45
respect.
minutes because they told us to be there at a certain time. So we waited 45 minutes before the bus came. They told us to be there 15 minutes before.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
And then the food just wasn't that great. There's supposed to be somebody singing on the bus. There was no singing. There's stuff like that. That was really, really weird.
Wow.
But the thing that I'm saying is that if you're going to own a company and you're going to do any sort of service-oriented company, or even a product, company, you need to make sure that you provide the service that people expect. And this is just, if you're going to serve food, this is just, a natural, common thing.
Yeah.
Hey, serve me good, fresh food, and that's quality if I'm paying $100,
Right.
So yeah, it was pretty disappointing,
I'm sorry that you had this experience. Now, a couple of key takeaways we have from here, right? Our first takeaway is, obviously, your experience was negative. So you will never refer anyone to go on this ride,
Of course not.
right? Number one. Number two, this is a good time to look at the scenario of, let me look at the company's reviews before I do something
Yeah.
on the future excursions, right?
Yeah.
And as a business owner, I think there's two types of businesses. One that are here short term, one that are here long term. The short term businesses give you the worst service, the worst pricing, and the worst of everything because they're not planning to be here long term, right?
Yeah.
They could be here now and in a year they file bankruptcy, they're gone, they open a new company, new name, and same stupid stuff again happens. Then you have companies that actually want to be in business for
They want to
20,
stick
30,
around.
40 years.
Right.
If initially my uncle and my dad were partners since '89, if they didn't do the right thing for the community, today we'll not be in business. Because eventually word gets around.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing is a lot of businesses like mine, like yours, it's a lot about referrals, right? From even your mortgage business is a lot about referrals. So if you give a customer a good experience, they're more likely to refer you for your next client to come your way, and it doesn't make any sense to give them a bad
No.
service or bad anything,
Look, there are some clients in any business that they'll never be happy no matter what.
That's
you do.
true.
But even in my world, when the client's wrong, they're still right. They're still paying your bills. They're still coming to you for work, and they're paying you for particular service. Now, some clients are a bit more stricter or what have you, but you want to just do your best to make them happy.
But I don't think that mentality is there anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of a lost art right now.
It is.
I think
It
it's that mentality is not there. It's gone.
It is.
I mean, look, you call companies and people don't even answer the phone, right? You
Well, the ones in English.
yeah.
Well, here's the problem
I
with
mean,
the
Another
companies.
one. Yeah.
I think the number one reason of lack of customer service is that your employees are not motivated, number one. They're not trained, they're not motivated, and they're not paid enough. In any business, if you have an employee that hates their job, doesn't get paid well, you're not nice to them as a boss, they're not gonna give you, they're gonna do the worst job. And you're just burning your own business.
Yep.
So sometimes it's worth it, or every time it's worth it, to train your employees, weekly management meetings, and pay your employees more money. We give all of our employees top dollar.
Take care of them. And they'll
Take care of them because they're the best.
That's
They
right.
love what they do. Usually our shop opens at 8 o'clock. They're there at 7:30.
That's great.
The technicians leave at 5. We're usually just at 6, 7 doing paperwork and what have you. The guys don't leave at 5 o'clock on the spot. So now they leave at 5:30. Because they love their job. They're happy to do it because besides being an amazing boss, we have a good environment for them. We're very family oriented. We have, during Christmas and Thanksgiving, we have huge parties for our employees because they're family. I think it's important to be your business family and your actual family at some point will mix together. And you have to have your employees be happy, make them feel that they are family, because you're breaking bread with them, and you're spending 6, 7, 10 hours a day with a certain particular group of people that are working for you or they're working with you. So you want to create the environment that they're happy to work with. And I think if your employees are happy, the end result, the product is done right, your clients are happy, which in turn brings you more business. But if you want to be that cheap company, it could be a pizza shop. You can pay your employee minimum wage or a few bucks over minimum wage. Trust me, if the employees that are delivering pizza, but he or she's getting more than minimum wage, trust me, their service will be different than someone that's just getting minimum wage.
It's true.
You gotta take care of your employees.
Yep. Any business, same
Yes.
thing.
So, to recap here, we are talking to PJ about his auto body shop located in the Valley, and we will put all the information into the comments of his website, his phone number, whatever he wants you to know. We'll put it in there. If you're watching this on the rerun, you can still ask questions, put it into the comments, and PJ will answer them for you. And then I just want to take a minute to tell you about our next event, which is going to be on May 14th at Verafino Interiors on Sepulveda. It's 3969 Sepulveda Boulevard, and it's located between Washington Place and Venice Boulevard. So it's a great event. Earl does a great job. It's a big place, and there's lots of room everywhere for people to sit, and just a really amazing place. Come and check it out. We're going to have our very own Tiffany there with her wine. We're going to have other businesses that are involved in Culver City Biz, like Debbie's Diner and Debbie's Delights are going to do the
Amazing. Some
desserts.
goodies. Oh my
One of our favorite events of the
It's a
year.
great
It
event.
really is good. Yeah.
It's a really good event. Earl likes to call it his spritzer.
Springster, yeah.
It's the spring mixer.
Yeah.
He likes to call it a spritzer. Anyway, that's on May 14th, Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Don't miss it. Please RSVP.
Be there or be square.
I posted it on the Culver City Biz group. I think there's also an event created there. And if you don't find it, just contact me and I will be able to send you a link to it. And I really hope to see you all there. Every year that he does this, we have a huge turnout, so it's a great opportunity for you to meet a lot of people and really talk about your business and do some networking,
Yeah.
right?
And I want this time to thank you both
Well,
for doing an amazing
We
job.
can do anything.
I truly love you guys. I'm so happy to be part of Culver City Biz, which Rafael started a long time ago.
been 4 years?
4 years.
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years.
And I've been with her since the get-go. And I remember we started with maybe 10, 15 people. And now we have hundreds.
We have 2,200.
2,200.
Yeah.
So from 20 people, basically, to 2,200, that means it works. The members are there. I myself, besides receiving so many referrals for mortgages or for body shop, I've met some amazing people, made some amazing contacts and relationships that were built over the years, and
Friendships have formed.
just friendships. And some of the people I've never done any business with, but
But they're friends.
if someone asks me if I know someone, I refer them to the members in that chapter, in that group, because that's what I trust.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for that. And if you remember day one, a lot of people told you that it's not going to work. And we had this
Told
conversation
you,
and
not
told me
me.
as well.
They were
And
talking behind my back.
yes, but it's okay. And what did I tell you?
It'll work.
We keep on trucking, baby. We keep on trucking, and the results show for self. You know, you have so many people that show up to our events. Some
We do,
can't show up all
and
the time.
honestly,
you know?
from the very first event that we did, we had, and that's PJ was talking about that. The very first event we did, we had 18 people show up, and now we have almost 100 people at most of these. Like at Earl's, we'll probably have 100 people
Yeah.
easily.
All
Yeah.
It's a big spot too.
Yeah, and he's a big one. But I mean, even at the last one, we had 65, 70
Yeah,
people.
that was an amazing,
you know.
amazing gathering.
So we get I would say between 45 and 100, or 45 and 80. And we're averaging.
And we get it. Listen, not everyone can come. You know, I'm a single dad. You know, happily single. You know, but I do run two businesses, and I'm in Encino. I'm in the valley, right?
Right.
So it's sometimes hard.
It's hard to get
over
a-
the
yeah.
hill, or there's meetings, or you're out of town.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think this entire couple of years, I've missed two.
Yep.
So when I do miss one of our events, I get really upset because I want to look. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone.
Sure.
And the thing that you have to know about Culver City Biz is that we don't charge anything. So
there's no entrance fee.
we don't charge you to show up at these networking events. They're open to the public. They're free to attend. The only charge there ever is really when you decide to be a host. Like Earl's going to be our host next month. If you're going to be a host, the charge is only for you to make it up yourself. Like I'm not dictating what.
Yeah, like if you want to serve particular food.
Yeah,
or
it's all about
beverages,
whatever food and beverage you want.
some appetizers, but nowadays.
You can do like sandwiches, or
Yeah.
you can have it catered or whatever, but that's the only cost is then. The other thing that we do is 2 biz fairs and bazaars per year, June and December, and then there's a small table fee for that, and that's it. Otherwise, there's no charge. You can come on here and talk to Greg and I every Friday. There's no charge for that. You can post on our group page. There's no charge for that. And it is more of a group rather than a page.
It's a big family.
Yeah, so that anybody can pay,
Yeah.
can,
And
like we just had the first of the month today,
Right,
so
right.
you can list your business on that post.
Yep.
Please do if you do have if you haven't done that yet. And on the 15th we do shout outs, so if you want to do that, you can do that as well.
Yeah, and I want to add also, when you come to our events, you can opt in. You can request to talk about your business. You get a 1 minute, call it an elevator pitch, whatever you want, and you come in front of everyone with a microphone, and you talk about what you do, what your best referral clients are, who your referral partner could be, and you're kind of putting your information out there for your business. And I've been doing it for such a long time, and again, it's helped my business tremendously. But the number one reason I started doing it is because Rafael was so kind and so welcoming, and the referrals come by themselves. You just build relationships.
But you have to remember you can't just come once and expect to
Yeah,
get
once a
something
year
out
you
of it.
can't show up once a year.
Yeah, you need to be consistent.
Yeah, you got to keep coming.
You gotta keep coming. People need to see you,
Trust
and,
get to know you,
yeah,
talk
and
to you.
once they kind of, see you around more often, they're like, oh, let me go talk to that person. But it's all really good stuff. So please join us. Like I said, May 14th is a great one. Don't miss that one. Even if you can't make it to all of them, try to make it to that one. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a great first meeting if you've never been. I think you'll get a good feel for everything, and you'll see a lot of people. Good times.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, PJ.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you so
talking
much.
to us
Thank you for having
today.
me.
Again, PJ from Star Collision, and we will be back again next week with another guest. If you ever want to be on one of our lives, please contact me for that as well. See you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a great week.